So this is day one of Road to £1 million per month. So today is 20th of the 8th, 2026. So 20th of August today. I think 13th on the 13th was results day for me. Where I got my A levels. I didn't do as well as I thought I would, which is, and then for the past 3 days after that I was so down. And I don't know, man. I mean, I was down. Right now, my mind is just filled with so much information. Today's the 20th. I've been posting videos on Instagram consistently, and got my first ever hate comment. It wasn't even a comment; it was a message. The guy hated the video so much he had to send me a message. It's a bit extreme, bro. I'm gonna read out the message now. The message was, let me see. I took a screenshot because I replied to him and then I blocked him because I got the final word in, so get in. What did he say? He was like, "Oh, you are not that N-word, man. Stop posting, lol. No one taking you seriously." And I replied, and I was like, "If I'm not that N-word, then who is? Live yours, man. If you don't like what I'm doing, keep moving." And I blocked him because you gotta have the final say. Come on. I was gonna, bro. But the thing is, right? That was genuinely, like when I first saw that message, because it comes up on your request, I was like, oh, okay. And then, bro, for whatever reason, I have no idea, right? I promise you, I had no reaction to it. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, my entire mood for the day shifted, bro. Like, bad. It's bad. I don't know why. And my initial reaction to that message was, oh, that's, like, why would you say that? But then, like, for whatever reason, I think there's a part of you, probably the subconscious, in it. There's probably the subconscious. Like, this is my thought, right? My thought is that okay. So as an introduction to myself, right? My name is Prince. Right? I have a very high self belief in myself. I hate when people say I'm delusional, but that's just how I believe I am. Anyway, I have a really high self concept of myself, and so when I first read that message, it was just the first time ever there was friction between who I thought I was and who someone else is trying to claim I am, saying that I'm not that person when whatever, something about that message just threw me off, bro, and I just feel down now. And also, it does not help that last night I only slept at 5 and sorry 6, and I wasn't able to sleep properly anyway. And yeah, and woke up and just scrolled on TikTok. I think right now, yeah, the reason I'm making this video is because I always do record like these vlogs on like the things I'm doing. The thing is, I just never used to post them, and the reason I never used to post them was because, to be honest, I thought to myself that they were supposed to come out at a certain time. So most of the videos were like me 13, 14, with new businesses, things I started, like my first AI company. That was so. It was such an interesting concept. I still have the name. Like, I took over the name and the trademark and kind of refurbished that. What interesting times, bro. Those were. This was first time when this was before many of these AI startups came out. Because I was very tapped in. I was really excited about AI and the possibilities and things we could do. Right now, I'm not as excited about AI. But yeah, I mean, right now, the thing I will tell you what I've been doing so far. Right, so I noticed that after my exam results and just having 2 years in sixth form was the longest 2 years of my life, bro. I swear, because every single day I felt like I didn't belong in that sixth form, in that environment, because I just felt to myself that that wasn't the education or the thing I wanted to do then. Obviously, education is important, but it just felt like that wasn't for me. It felt like there was a big disconnect between who I wanted to be, who I felt I was called to be, and me being in that environment. and the teachers, some of them, I'm sorry, most of the teachers were so toxic. They just have bad energy. Bad energy. They have, it's like, no offense, but like it's like they've abandoned their they've abandoned something, right? I'm not gonna just try to label it for them, but they've abandoned something, right? And then because it's a big transition, year 12, year 13, that's when you choose where you want to kind of go, kind of choose your quote unquote future. And it's like they try and make you quote unquote realistic. It's just they're there to break you down, and you're like, I don't know, something in you. I didn't let that affect me. Well, it did affect me quite a lot actually, thinking about it in hindsight, because it's a system that rewards, like, I'm not gonna say mediocrity. It's a system that rewards a lower level of life and a lower frequency. So it's more like we're gonna reward you being really good at doing this definite integral, or like something like that, right? And definite integral, we're gonna reward you for doing this. We're gonna reward you for, being able to, accurately do something in chemistry. But then, like, that's it. But to be fair, like, I can't complain about that because that's what school is, right? But I hate it because it's centering this form, like, it's centering like their subject as if it's the only path to life, um, which is obviously not true. I learned that from a very young age. When I was 13, made a lot of money. Well, a lot for me back then was thousands, couple thousands, and then again, doing reselling on eBay, selling diode laser machines to Mexico for £6,000. That in like 3 days, that was insane, bro. That was insane. And then I stopped because I had to do my GCSEs, and then I forgot about it and never did it again because you need upfront money for that. And I didn't have a job then. I didn't look for one. And then for the past 2 years, 3 years, it's been school and doom scrolling. My mind is just gone. And also reading books. You can probably see them there. Just reading books on entrepreneurship, and then came to the realization that I need to start journaling more. By the way, I'm making this video as painful as possible right now because I know no one's gonna watch it right now in this current state. People will watch it when I become something, right? I am something right now, but people watch it when I reach a certain level where they feel as if they need to go and see what I was doing back in the day. This is what I was doing back in the day. I was in this room. I was either sleeping on that bed or just sat here writing notes to myself. My little, it's not really little actually, just writing, journaling. Oh, journaling, the mystical art, the mystical arts, the mystical work. Yeah, these are my 3 journals. This is what I was doing. Just these 3. This is my God one. This is my God one. This is really deep to me. My conversations with God. Yep. No wonder it's red. It's red. It stands out. This was my everything journal. My affirmations. My scripting work is done in here. My mental work is done in here. Like mental, recognizing the mechanisms that are affecting me. I do that in here. And this is my other journal. This one's pretty interesting actually. It's just my thoughts in general on a lot of these things. This is my current, probably I'd say this is probably my main journal at the moment, because the red one is just me writing to God my thoughts, like letters to him and stuff like that, which I think is sick. And it allows me to, and by the way, I've had the red one much longer than these other ones, and it allows me to kind of look back. So I've had it since I think 2023, and so it allows me to like kind of think back and see what I was complaining to God. I wasn't complaining. I'm not always complaining, but a lot of times that just happens to be what I'm good at in times of need. Yeah. This one is pretty interesting actually. This journal, this one, because it's just my general observations. And the good thing about having like three different journals is that you have one where like, my God one is really personal to me. This one's more like things I wouldn't even mind sharing. But then because I'm Christian, right? It just so happens a lot of God stuff is found in here, the things I've learned as well about God. My mind right now. Okay, so now enough yap. Um, what's the plan going forward? The plan forward is that I have a business called Valora Legal. Valora Legal started off as I wanted to initially learn how to code and make a tool for law firms to be able to use, streamline their contracts, and stuff like that. I just wanted to cut the workload in half for smaller law firms, and then but then the way I got the idea of Valora Legal was from DeepSeek AI. Now, during this time period, I didn't know that DeepSeek AI was just heavily reliant on the internet for its sources. And so, Valora, the idea, came from Legora, Max Junestrand, I think his name is, who is a pretty interesting person. I think the work he's done at such a young age. I was reading up on him like when I discovered this big revelation. You know, I think no, to be fair, I did discover it early on. I discovered Legora and how Valora related to it pretty early on. So like, because I started Valora Legal 2 years ago. So so 2 years ago, I did my own research. I wasn't just a sheep. I was just listening to AI and when it gave me the idea for the company, I just went out online and searched up who our biggest competitors would be, and we found Legora. And I recognized that DeepSeek deep had faked me out. I'm sorry, my mind is so. The reason I'm so not energetic as usually I am is because my mind is filled with so much information. I feel like I'm gonna pass out a bit, and my mind just. You see my eyes roll back. It's because like I'm genuinely fighting something. I don't know what I'm fighting, but my mind is just everywhere now. Right, and my bed's not made as well. So flip. We're not gonna make £100,000 because my bed's not made. But yeah, anyways. But so what was I saying? I was saying that I did discover that Legora obviously pre-existed Valora. Legora had already was already pretty successful. But the thing I thought to myself was, I'm pretty sure Legora is not in the UK in that sense. So I could probably start off Valora as a tool that will help out these smaller law firms, right? Cool, which is pretty interesting, right? Like something I would do, and so that's what I did. Wrote out so many emails, 300 emails, I think it was. Had a spreadsheet of so many lawyers. I did not get any response. Actually, I did get responses, but people were just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, not interested," which is okay, cool. And then I stopped Valora. And then for some reason, ever since I was 13, every single thing, every single business idea I've done, always like kind of rerouted itself to dropshipping. It's so stupid. Because when I was 12, right, we came to this country. I think 12 or 13, and then immediately I discovered dropshipping, and then so I tried it. I made like I think, sorry, I ended up losing like £200 to £500. That was because I ended up selling something for £200 to £500. It was a baby cot or baby pram, but then I didn't recognize because I was 12 or 13, but I didn't know how to look at the dashboard, and Shopify back then was so weird. So I was like, flip. So I used my auntie's thingy, and she got charged £200 or £500. It was bad. It was bad. But I never stopped, because then 2 weeks later, I started what I started. I started selling on Gumtree. Selling stuff on Gumtree. Sorry, selling stuff from Gumtree to eBay, and then eBay started working out well for me. and then I moved to AirPods, which are fake. God forgive me for that time period. That was bad. And then, can I be honest, reselling fakes was pretty profitable because you'd get it from China. I mean, what's the difference between fakes and reals anyway? But I'm sorry, but not AirPods, not fake AirPods, right? But fake, something fake, right? Like for example, a hairdryer or something like that. And that was very profitable. I did that. The last time I did reselling like that was when I was just before I started Valora, because um it was something like a really big item I could have sold from China, and then on Facebook Marketplace, and it was for a lot of money. I went out and I went and met up with the person. I just couldn't, bro. That was bad. No, guilt, shame, everything was just on me that day. It was so bad. Never did it again. I told God, I promised God that day. I said I would never do this again, because that's not who you called me to be. You didn't call me to, no matter, because obviously, look, I would buy stuff from China, etc., and I would use them for myself, because in my eyes there was no difference between the real and fake. They were all made in the same factories, probably. But then in that moment, I don't think that I just felt so bad. I was like, God, I'm really sorry. I'm not gonna do that again. I promise you, I'll never do that again. And ever since, I've never done it again. That was 2.5 years, 3 years ago, I think. I think I was 15, 3 years ago. And then that's when I decided to come up with Valora, just take a swing at the big tech companies, because I knew quite a lot about AI beforehand. I mean, I was one of the first people, one of the first in the public to recognize ChatGPT when it was out, because ChatGPT has been here for a while. But then when they first I was like one of the first. Me and my mom actually, because I remember screaming. I was on this computer, but the computer was there. I was screaming, mom, come, let's use this. This is so insane. Da, 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 da. I was so blown away by the fact that it could respond back to me. And my first test was to say something to me in Kiswahili, which is, I'm Kenyan, I speak Swahili, and it did, and I was screaming. My mind was, oh my god. And then so I did all that, and then I realized, yo, this is insane. There's so much things I could do with this, right? How can I make money off this? So then I kept thinking about that. Replit. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows the company anymore. Replit. They're now AI focused. We used to use Replit in school for coding practice. Back in year 9. But now they turned into like an AI coding platform. So I used it to make up the first iterations of Valora Legal. Bro, I worked day and night. The thing is, obviously, I say I worked, but I was prompting day and night. So I don't know if you call that work. I call that work. I don't care what anyone says. That was work, right? That was work. That was work, right? Kind of had to stop because of GCSEs. Started up again once I smashed my GCSEs, which I did. I thank God for that. And then we had a product. I went to PwC. Here's what I thought about companies prior to going to PwC for work experience. So what I thought was that people would be begging me to use my AI application, because this was when AI was just starting out, right? I thought people were gonna beg me to use it. Right? Obviously, it wasn't just starting out. It had some traction, but I thought to myself, no, sorry, that was my misconception. I thought that it would take companies years to adopt artificial intelligence, right? So this was until I went to work experience at PwC, and when I was there, we were just talking. This product manager came up to us and we asked him questions about AI, and I was so gobsmacked to find out that they have AI. I was like, flip, what the hell? What the hell, guys? You're a big company, right? You should be scared to use AI. I should have to come and sell you. You should come to me and be like, sell me this pen and I'll sell you the AI service that you want to use. Alright? I was like, flip. What the flip, dude? Frick. Fudge. Dang it, bro. It beat me to it. And that's in that moment I realized that a lot of companies had already planned for AI. And yeah, they already have their companies pay a lot to have their own. So first of all, this is the time period I learned about ring fencing. The problem with me offering an AI platform to law firms for their contracts was that they would, if I got hacked, that's their data gone, right? But if they're able to run artificial intelligence locally, ring fenced or something like that, ring fence, right? Then their information will leak out into the world, right? I mean, the client data will stay private. So I switched to Valora Eagle. Um, I switched up the service and the business, but I didn't switch it to anything. I kind of just left it as a placeholder. I left it as Valora Legal. Oh, sorry, I missed a big story. This one guy, right? I used to talk to him a lot. Uh, this guy, bro, I don't know what was going on with him, bro. So I built Valora. Okay, if I'm being completely honest, right, Valora was not to make money. I just copied Legora because I wanted to learn AI literacy by myself, and I did email lots of law firms, and the reason I emailed lots of law firms was to kind of gauge the competitive landscape in terms of whether or not businesses are actually being offered AI services and products, etc. And I was a very happy kid who thought that all the law firms would be happy to speak to me. Some 16-year-old guy who wants to, some 16-year-old guy, but they weren't, and so I didn't really gauge anything actually, except from when I went to PwC and then I spoke to the product manager, the technology people, and I was, thank God for that PwC work experience, bro, because I was asking personal questions. Like the other people there were like probably asking accountancy questions, bro. I was only asking questions for my sake. There were 10 of us, and I was asking questions just solely for my sake. Right, I thank God for the opportunity. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So this guy called Maxim, right? Obviously, we spoke a lot on the phone. Resold some stuff on eBay as well. He did eBay and some other things that I don't really care. And then all of a sudden, right, I was searching up Valora Legal, my domain, and I see, sorry, because the night before, like 2 3 days before, I told him all about Valora, how I kind of built it. I didn't tell him the purpose. I didn't tell him the purpose was to learn more about AI literacy and to gauge the competitive landscape on artificial intelligence and whether or not it would be a viable business venture for me to undertake it. Right? I didn't tell him any of that. I just said that I have this thing, I have this cool startup product idea. Da 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 da. Now this guy, I think his mom's connected to lots of people. I searched up valoralegal.com because I was trying to check my I think it's like URL like health or something, like, sorry, the Google rankings. Right? I just wanted to see if I was ranking enough, and I see my domain name was valoralegal.com. I see another terrible domain name, and it says valoralegal.ai. It's the exact same. It's the exact same product. Right, so this guy went and vibe coded the exact same product. Mind you, this was so stupid because listen, yeah, like, bro, if you even took 1 microsecond to think about this like holistically, right, just genuinely think about this logically, right, if you even looked at the market at that time, Legora, right, which I copied Legora so I can learn about AI. Right? Legora was is dominating, like Legora is dominating, right, dominating. It was so stupid, bro. So yeah, and the thing is, I'm not even gonna tell you how I knew it was him, but I knew it was him because obviously I have the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit helped me discern it a lot, and there were also signs as well, and I was able to trace the website back to him. Uh, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell him how I could tell it was his, because then if he does it to someone else, yeah, then he'll be able to fix it, and now no one will know who it is. What, it's so stupid. They were so dumb, anyways. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't care. I knew because I could check the actual website data and see like stuff about it because the vibe coded app was terrible, and you could kind of track it back to. Do you know what I mean? Because he tried, the people tried adding their own like demo thing, and they used external apps. But the thing is, right? So you have the external app, and then you vibe code around it, right? But the thing is, right, you have your external app, yeah, your external apps here, right, and it has all your data, all your information, right. Now, the vibe coding platform was terrible, right? So you could just kind of work your way around it and see who did what. I digress. 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 So I cut him off completely. Thing is, the only reason I cut him off is because I think it's just weird because my entire thing is I like this business thing. Da, 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 da. If you're gonna copy me, I don't care if you copy me, but at least just say, yo, I want to do the same thing. I'll be like, yo, cool, do you do your thing, bro? Thing is, right? So yeah, I just thought it was weird. And also, yeah, I was getting racist vibes from my man as well. It was weird. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so I did that. Alright, cool. What else now? So yeah, now Valora right now. Cool. So then A level was 2 years. Felt like I didn't belong. Pray to God, did help me out, Lord. Now after a while, I took a long break, bro. Focused on LinkedIn maxing. Flipping LinkedIn, bro. Oh my gosh. Forget LinkedIn, bro. Now I'm tired of that app. I'm tired of that platform because everyone has the same mindset. They all want to do the same thing. I don't want to do the same thing as you guys. Right. So now I've stopped using LinkedIn, but my LinkedIn is optimized right now. And then I did my A levels. Thank God for my A levels. And then now I'm out of school now. So now I actually have the time, and I'm taking a gap year, applying to some really good, exciting universities next year. For example, what LSC, which is great. I'll probably do something like I don't know, like econ with something, not pure econ. I'd hate that. Or business management. I would not care. I don't care. Business management, LSC, I'll take that. But yeah, sorry. Anyways, yeah, did my levels. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. And then, so now I was sat down, thought about Valora Legal, right? Thought about the things I've learned now, and the things I've learned is, more like, okay, cool. I have this idea, right? I have this goal that I want to get to, right? Now, because of this goal, right, I need to take a certain path, but like, there's multiple paths up a mountain, right? I used to optimize for speed, right? You optimize for how fast you get to the top of the mountain, but then I was listening to Alex Hormozian who's talking about execution, and as long as you execute, you're gonna get somewhere, right? And well, the reason I'm not like stuck to anything, the reason I didn't get to the place I wanted to get to much younger is because I just simply, I'm still an excitable person, right? And I'm really good at things. I'm really good. Like all those things I've mentioned, all the ventures, I made at least something, except Valora, which was not supposed to make anything, right? And at a young age, it's so impressive, bro. Like very impressive. Like I think. But then I realized that I love this shiny. I love shiny things, shiny syndrome. Da 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 da. So now it's more like, okay, cool. I have Valora Legal, right? Valora is its own platform now. Currently, it's just a bunch of text, right? We didn't explain our services, what I'm doing right now. I have a business plan. Um, it makes sense. It does solve a really big problem as well, and it's something that I'm really excited to do. It's a new model as well, which I've been thinking about for a while now, and it's gonna be the start to something really new and really exciting. Because it's the one I'm gonna choose to stick with. I've finally chosen something to stick with, and it will be this. And you know what that does for me? It allows for me to kind of be level-headed and put my hard work somewhere. Because I can be smart, I can be dumb, right? Like it's all dependent on like kind of how I'm feeling in the moment and the things that I'm doing. But I've finally accepted something, right? I've accepted something that I'm going to be doing. That means that all my efforts are going to be directed into one thing. And so I think that's why I started this YouTube channel. Well, not started this YouTube channel, but made this video. And well, okay, I've now just restarted YouTube, right? I restarted YouTube, and this is the start of something really new. By the way, don't give credit to anyone you've heard about in this story. It's so stupid. Don't do that, please. I'll actually cut this out if people do it. Don't do that. Yeah, something new. This is something new, something exciting. And yeah, I mean, document it. Oh, I just liked. Yeah, something new, something exciting. Join me. You see all these books there, by the way, right? All these books. You know, one thing I've learned reading all these books, right, is that the only thing that works is just doing the work. I promise you. Yeah. Hold on, let me show you. I was reading through this autobiography. Sorry, not autobiography. This biography of, I think, yeah, Rockefeller. And you know, I was thinking to myself. I kept reading, taking notes, thinking to myself, yo, when am I gonna make money if I spend all my time reading just this big book, right? Right, and I have plenty of books of that size. Look, I've read, right? This book, I actually like it. Reality Transit. I spent all my time through these pages, right? When will I make when will I do the things? So if, yeah. So this is the documentation of doing the things. This is day one.